How about now? Can you hear me now? I feel like you can hear me now. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Okay, I told you, I've done this like 3 times where I somehow set it up on mute, and then I do half the class in mute. I literally got like 20 minutes into a class last week, and somebody was like, hey, we can't hear you. So thank you so much for speaking up. I truly appreciate it. I'll start over. My name is Bryn. I'm an instructor at the Crown Point YMCA, and on behalf of the YMCA, we're so grateful to be able to connect with you virtually. The stay-at-home thing is lasting a little bit longer than I think most of us anticipated. So being able to stay connected with you, there's no words to describe it. So welcome to Beginners Yoga. So today, real quick, if you can, find yourself a spot where you have access to the wall. We are going to do what I call the wall series. And when I teach this in studio, more often than not, we run out of wall space. So I can only teach this when we have a limited number of students in the classroom. So if you can, just situate yourself kind of like how I have my yoga mat here, so that you have wall space. We're going to start with our legs up the wall today, and I'm going to show you how to get into that. And then we're going to do a little bit of a series. So you just need this much room, on a wall, just so you can spread out just a little bit. But being up close to a wall is going to enhance this particular series today immensely. And with that, let's get started. So starting with what's called legs up the wall. So instead of starting in our regular Shavasana where we're stretched out long on our mat, we're going to take one of our pillows. If you have the big yoga bolster at home, the traditional yoga bolster, feel free to use that. But if not, a simple couch cushion is going to work just fine. So placing that couch cushion up against the wall, all the way up against the wall, and you're just going to sit. So scoot your hips up so that either you're right or left, it makes zero difference, but your hip is right up against the wall. And as you begin to kind of, you're going to just windmill your hips and send your feet up the wall. And once you get here, you can make any adjustments that you want. The pillow just creates a little bit of height and a little bit of padding. You can scoot yourself closer to the wall. But if that creates too much pull on the hamstrings, you can also scoot yourself a little bit away from the wall just to soften that stretch in the back of the legs. So situating yourself wherever you are most comfortable in this wall series, and then sending your arms out wide. So allowing your arms to go wide, allowing your palms to face up. And if at any point, we'll be here for a few minutes, so if at any point your feet start to go numb, because all the blood is rushing from your lower extremities up to the trunk. So all of your organs are getting all of this, this rush of blood. Your brain is being hyper-oxygenated right now. So we're all going to leave here way smarter. You didn't know you were getting that from yoga today. So if your legs start to go numb, your feet start to go numb or get tingly, just put a little bend in them and just kind of recirculate some of that blood, sending it up to them. So with our arms wide, dropping your chin just slightly towards your chest so that you can feel your spine flat. Rolling your shoulders back and down, drawing your shoulder blades in towards each other, creating space across the chest. Allowing your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. And if not, then just soften your gaze. Just softening your gaze enough so that you're taking in as little light as possible. Separating your teeth. Softening that jaw. We carry so much tension through the face, through the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw, allowing all of that to go soft. Beginning to slow the breath down, quieting the breath, quieting the mind. Making a conscious effort to draw the breath deep into the belly so that when you inhale, you feel the belly rise. And when you exhale, you feel that hollowness in the belly. Just taking a few quiet moments to keep your focus on the breath by saying silently, just to yourself in your own head, breathing in, breathing out. Taking one more full breath here. And after your next exhale, I'm going to invite you to plant your feet on the wall, just so that you can push into the wall, lifting your hips, and we're going to remove that pillow that we had under our hips. And I'm going to place my pillow right here on the left, because in a few minutes, I may need that. So I'm going to keep it nice and close. And I'm going to walk my feet out. So my feet are going to go wide. This is like a supported happy baby. So keeping your feet on the wall, so they're kind of flat on the wall, but letting your knees go wide. And then deciding the distance that you want to be from the wall. So you can scoot in super, super close and create more of a stretch, or you can even walk yourself away and have it be a more relaxed pose where you're just allowing an opening. Allowing the hips to relax. And now you can send your arms again out to the side wide, or you can even take them up and overhead if that feels good. On your next inhale, you can start heel toe, walking your feet back in together so that they find their way back to the center. And we're going to take our arms down to our side, palms facing down. And if you're up against the wall, if your bottom is kind of up all the way against the wall, I'm going to have you scoot your bottom back just so you are a few inches away from the wall. So that instead of having this knee kind of drawn in towards the belly, it'll be kind of a straight line. So your thigh will be straight up towards the ceiling. And from here, we're going to keep our left foot planted on the wall. And we're going to take this right foot, drawing it in close, so just crossing the right ankle over the left knee. And if this is comfortable for you today, this is where you'll stay for the next few breaths. If you want, if this isn't enough of a stretch, you can draw that right heel down closer to the left hip. And taking the right hand on the right knee, just pressing it out just a little bit. Feeling an opening through that right hip. Steadying the breath. Good. After that last exhale, you can release your hold wherever you were holding your leg and send that right leg up just to shake it out and then sending it back to meet the left foot planted on the wall. On your next inhale, drawing that left knee in towards the belly and crossing the left ankle over the right knee. And if this is comfortable for you up here, keeping the right ankle up here at the right knee, then this is where you'll stay. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can draw that right ankle down just a few inches closer to the right hip, and then placing one hand on the ankle, one hand on the knee, applying just a little bit of pressure. And here's a really good place to notice. Just notice what you notice, but noticing if one side is tighter than the other, if they feel balanced. After that last exhale, setting the left leg up, shaking out any tension, and sending it back to the wall. So both feet will be planted on the wall, knees up towards the ceiling. So we placed our pillow off to the side here for a reason. We're going to send our arms for this next one out to the side, keeping that pillow handy. You may or may not need it. You'll decide kind of once we get into the pose. We're going to go into the double knee twist. So keeping your arms up to the side, palms facing down, trying to keep your head neutral to start. So looking up at the ceiling, you're just going to begin to walk your feet to the left. So this is where my pillow is. I'm going to begin to walk my feet down the wall, feeling a stretch on the right side, and allowing my knees to come down and rest together on that pillow. Checking in with my shoulders, trying to maintain both shoulder blades remaining flat on the floor. And maybe you don't need the pillow here. Maybe you need it here. Maybe you don't have any trouble with your left knee coming down to rest on the floor, but this right one starts pulling the shoulder up. So you can switch that pillow position to come between the knees to provide the support to maintain both shoulder blades staying on the floor. Now, if it suits you, you can pick your head up and turn and look over the right fingertips. Breathing into that twist.
On your next inhale, picking your head up and returning it to center. I'm going to remove the pillow from between my knees. And if I don't have one on this right side, I would have switched the pillow over to the right side so it would be prepared for this other side. But I happen to have a second pillow over there, so I'm just going to push that one out of the way. On your next inhale, beginning to walk your feet up the wall. And when you get to center, pause. We're going to extend our legs up just for a second. Taking a full inhale, full exhale. Then putting the bend back in our knee, planting our feet on the wall. And on your next exhale, beginning to walk your feet over to the right. Allowing your knees to come down and rest on that pillow. Keeping both shoulder blades on the floor. If you want to switch that pillow and let the right leg rest on the floor and put that pillow between the knees. And if it suits you, picking up your head and looking out this time over the left fingertips. Excuse me. On your next exhale, picking your head up, returning it to center. But instead of walking our feet back up the wall, we're going to take this left hand, cross over the midline of the body, and find ourselves laying on our side. Taking a breath here. When you're ready, you're going to place both hands on the mat, supporting that low back and pushing yourself up. You can toss that pillow off to the side for now, and we are going to come into a tabletop position. Okay, so I keep coughing because like 6 inches away from that camera, I have a space heater blowing on me, and ever so often my throat dries out and I think I'm gonna die. So I have to cough and take a big drink. So I apologize for the annoying cough. Okay, so coming to tabletop, playing your fingers wide, stretching out palm of your hand, taking your knees so that they're just below your hips. Your hands should be maybe just an inch or two out in front of your shoulders. We're gonna go through a couple of cat-cow, but you can go at your own pace. So when I say inhale and exhale, if you're ahead of me or behind me, it makes no difference. As long as you're doing the same moves, going to the pace of your own breath, not rushing the breath. So allowing the feet to go flat on the mat, top of your foot flat against the mat. On your next inhale, you're gonna slowly lift your gaze. You're looking up towards the ceiling. You're gonna drop your belly, creating like a sway back, right? So this is cow pose. Your tailbone tips up towards the ceiling. Chin reaching, opening through the throat, opening through the heart center. Exhale, reversing that, pulling your shoulder blades apart. Arching your back like a cat and tucking your tailbone under for cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Just going to the pace of your own breath.
One more. And then returning to a neutral spine here. So as we go into thread the needle, you decide how far down is comfortable for you. So we are going to keep our right hand planted on the mat. This is going to be kind of our foundation. So tilting so that all of our weight travels into the right leg and the right arm, picking up the left arm and turning it palm facing up, sliding it through this needle hole right here, and coming down to rest on your left ear, palm facing up. So if this is where you stay, with your hips high, kind of shifted forward so you're resting on the left ear, left shoulder, then this is great. Or you can drop it back so you're in more like a child's pose, still using that right hand for a foundation, but creating just a little bit more of a stretch through the lower body. On your next inhale, if you have fallen back, we're just going to lift those hips back up, pressing with the right hand into the mat and drawing the left hand back up, returning to a tabletop position. Taking a full inhale and exhale here. Shifting your weight over to the left, picking up the right hand, threading it, palm facing up through the needle hole on the left. Coming down on that shoulder and ear. And if it suits you, dropping back, letting your hips find your heels. Inhale, lifting those hips. Inhale, lifting your head first, walking your hands under just enough to give you some stability. Pressing back up into tabletop, and we're gonna widen our feet again so that our knees shouldn't be wider than our ankles. Wow, I don't know why I just forgot my script, but so curling your toes under, we're gonna press up into down dog. Down dog does not suit you today, then returning to a puppy pose. Your hips will stay wide, reaching out long, allowing your forehead to find the mat, but keeping the hips tall, keeping them up towards the ceiling. Otherwise, curling the toes under and lifting those hips, pressing back, encouraging the heels to find the mat.
And then we're gonna walk the dog. So bending the right knee and allowing the left heel to find the mat, and then reversing. Bending the left knee, straightening the right. Switch. Switch. One more time. Bending the right. Bending the left. Straightening both legs, looking up between your hands, and either taking one big step to come forward, or you can take a million little steps. Makes no difference. So if you end up in the lunge, pressing up through the back foot to come to standing. Forgot my ponytail holder at home. Super annoying. Okay. So as we find ourselves standing on that, we are actually going to return to the wall. I'm telling you, I love this wall series. So I'm so excited to be able to do it with you guys, even from home. I'm going to turn this just a smidge. Here's a really good view of the side of my nose for everybody. We're going to go into a wide leg pull, but we're going to use the wall for support. So keeping your heels just maybe 2 inches away from the wall, and just starting off with our feet wide, toes pointing either straight forward, or they can even splay out to the side just a little bit. And just by starting by rolling the shoulders back and down, so you can feel maybe your butt up against the wall and your shoulder blades make contact with the wall in the back of your head. Sucking your chin just slightly towards your chest, and feeling that straightening through the spine. Drawing your breath into the belly. And on your next inhale, setting the arms up overhead. Exhale, turning the palms to face out and beginning to lower yourself into a wide leg forward fold. So careful not to fall into it, but coming down, and you can separate your feet as much as you are comfortable with, allowing that wall to kind of be your support. So taking your hands, pressing into the mat, allowing that wall to support you, dropping your chin to your chest. On your next exhale, we're just going to walk our hands over to the right, just a few inches, using that wall for support, reaching the right hand towards the right foot. Exhale, coming back to center, dropping your chin to your chest. Inhale, starting to walk your hands over towards the left this time. Ugh. Noticing if one side feels more stuck. It might be super easy and super fluid to kind of go to one side and then you go to the other side and it feels like something is literally stopping you. At least it does for me. I think we've all been doing so much more sitting lately, and our bodies are like, ah, what are you doing? Exhale, walking your hands back to center. I am going to walk my feet out just a little bit further. So you can do the same if you're comfortable, or you can stay exactly where you are. And I'm going to drop down onto my elbows. Inhale, looking up, coming back up on your hands if you drop to your elbows, heel toe, walking your feet in. So now they're almost in a regular forward fold, maybe just a few extra inches between them, bending at the knees, sending the arms out to the side, reaching all the way up, hands to heart center. Great job. Okay, we are going to do a couple of balancing poses. So just to start with our balance, we're just going to keep our heels, like I said before, a couple of inches, maybe 2 inches away from the wall. We're going to allow our butt to touch the wall, maybe even our shoulder blades. And as we go into the balancing poses, you can always test your balance by just shifting your weight forward and coming just a little bit away from the wall. But for now, just creating that stability, training your brain to create a support system and reaching out for it. And all we're going to do is shift our weight to the left. And using that wall for support, we're just going to pick this right foot up and set it out in front of us, just a few inches. Doesn't have to be way up here, just a few inches out in front. And now go ahead and test your balance. See if you can shift your weight just enough to come up off the wall. Or instead of having the whole back body, maybe you just have your fingertips or a fingertip against the wall, just for support, just to train your brain to think that it has the support. Maybe we don't even need it. Exhale, releasing that right foot back to the floor, shaking out any tension from the hips, and then just simply shifting the weight over to the right foot, letting your bottom and your shoulder blades find the wall, even your fingertips if you'd like, and then inhale, lifting that left foot just a few inches up from the mat. Then begin to experiment. This is all just one big experiment, right? Let's see what we can accomplish today. Let's see where our body is today and honoring it in that space. See if you can take your hands off. See if you can bring them to heart center. Exhale, releasing that foot back to the mat. And we're going to go into our tree pose. So keeping the left foot just a few inches away from the wall. Again, letting part of the back body, so your bottom and your shoulder blades find the wall if you need it. And when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight over to the left, taking the right foot, and we're going to either place it one of three places. So it's either going to go at the ankle, so your toes will kind of act as a kickstand. So you're not coming completely off the floor, but your toes will be on the floor, the arch of your foot going over the ankle. Or you can lift it up and bring it to the lower part of the leg, the calf, just below the knee. If you're really feeling it, you can hike your leg way up above the knee. Just don't put your foot over the actual knee. That creates too much compression. And then decide where you want your branches, your tree branches today. So you can have them here to create support. You can have them here, like a goalpost. Or you can send them up overhead. Or you can even have them at heart center. Wherever you are, take a look down at that knee. Did that knee come in? Push that knee out, creating space here, opening through the hips, and then begin to experiment with your balance. If you have your fingertips to the wall, see if you can press the body away from the wall. You have your arms up overhead and your bottom is touching the wall. Shift your weight so that you can see if you can balance, even if it's just for a breath. Exhale, bringing the arms down, shaking out that right foot. Walk it out, release any tension. And then shifting the weight over to the right foot. We're going to do it all over again. Keeping the right foot, the heels a few inches away from the wall. Shifting the weight to the right. And then deciding wherever you were on the left, we're now going to do on the right. So if you were down here like a kickstand, sending that knee out to create the opening.
down here on the calf, or if you were way up here on the thigh above the knee, be careful to be above the knee, and then sending your branches up, beginning to play with that balance, beginning to experiment with where you are with your balance, and reminding yourself gently that trees don't stand still. So if you find yourself doing some of this to keep your balance, what do trees do, right? You look outside and what do trees do? They blow in the wind. Exhale, sending the arms down, sending the leg out, and walking out any tension that may have been created. So we are going to go into a supported warrior 2. So we're going to take our feet just about shoulders distance apart, but we're going to turn our left foot so that if you were to look down at your feet, you would draw that imaginary line from your left heel to your right arch. So using the wall for support, sometimes having the wall there helps create a better posture. So I'm going to give you a couple of cues today that can't be done if we don't have the wall behind us. So it's kind of why I love this series so much. So as we bring our arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down, checking out those shoulders so that they are down and away from our ears. Keeping our hips square, so facing out this way. Beginning to put some bend in that left knee. Now taking your eyes down to your left knee, checking so that it's over the last 2 toes, not coming in and creating compression, but staying out wide, creating space here, keeping that knee over the last 2 toes, and turning to look over your left fingertips. Now, if you have the wall behind you, you should, or you could, if you're close enough to that wall, which I would encourage everybody to be, I was not at that moment, but I am now, to feel both butt cheeks and both shoulder blades square on that wall. Putting that bend in that knee and maintaining that squared off posture. And now also feeling the razor edge, flat side of your fingertips, also against that wall, creating a straight line from fingertip to fingertip, turning and looking over the left fingertips. Checking in with that knee, making sure that knee doesn't start to collapse forward. Exhale, releasing those arms down, straightening that knee, and we're just going to switch our feet. So roll those shoulders back a few times, release any tension. Keeping your left heel relatively close to the wall and turning the right foot so it's pointing outward, drawing that imaginary line from your right heel this time to the left arch. Inhale, bringing the arms up, shoulders down and away from the ears, creating length in the neck. Exhale, dropping that knee over the last 2 toes. Checking in to see if you can feel both butt cheeks up against the wall, keeping your hips square this way, keeping your shoulders square, feeling your shoulder blades against the wall, feeling the flat part of your hand against the wall, and looking over the right fingertips. Exhale, releasing those arms down to the side, walking your feet in, releasing any tension from the arms. When I shake this, it sounds like my dog's collar. When he shakes his ears all crazy, that's right. Okay, so bringing your feet just maybe shoulders distance apart, allowing your bottom to find that wall, allowing your shoulder blades to find that wall. Not resting completely up against the wall,
but just close enough so that you can feel the contact. On the next inhale, we're going to bring our arms up and overhead. We're going to exhale to the left. So maintaining your hands, you should feel your fingers stay just brushing up against that wall as we begin to create that crescent-shaped spine to the left. So an opening through the whole right side body without collapsing forward to do it. Feeling that both your shoulders stay up against the wall. Inhale, coming back up to center. Good. Exhale, crescent-shaped spine to the right. Feeling your fingertips on the wall, feeling your butt and your shoulder blades, maintaining contact. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. And exhale to the right. Inhale up. Bring both arms down. Taking one big step forward, closer to the edge of your mat. Inhale, arms coming up overhead. Palms facing out. Exhale, forward fold. Hanging heavy here in ragdoll pose. Allowing your arms to hang heavy. Releasing any tension from your head and your neck. Taking your palms to the front of your shins. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending at the knees, sending the arms up to the side, reaching up, palms coming together, and on the exhale, lowering yourself into twisted chair. So your right elbow is going to cross the body, finding the left knee, taking a breath here. Inhale, sunbursting those arms out, coming all the way back up to mountain two. Palms facing out, exhale, forward fold. Again, hanging heavy. You can even fold one arm into the other elbow, and same with the other side, letting your arms create kind of a weight to deepen that stretch through the hamstrings. Releasing that hold, palms to the front of the shins. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees, arms to the side. Inhale, all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, twisted chair. Left elbow to right knee. Looking up over the right elbow, taking a breath here. Inhale, sunbursting arms up. Palms facing out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees. Inhale, arms out, looking up, reaching all the way back into a little mini back bend. So allowing your hips to press forward, your eyes to travel up towards your hands. Exhale completely. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a breath here. Releasing your arms down to your side. Taking your time coming down to seated. So we are going to draw the right foot in close to the root of the body, and the left foot is going to go long. So you can kind of peel the excess tissue away from your sits bones just so you can get a good grounded foundation here. Turning your body to look over the left toes, keeping your nose towards your toes. So as we start to lower into this fold, we're not collapsing into it yet. We're going to maintain that length in our spine. So rolling the shoulders back and down, pulling up through the crown of the head, and turning so that we're looking over the right toe, the left toe, sorry. Inhale, arms coming up overhead. Exhale, slowly lowering your nose towards your toes and letting your hands fall wherever they're comfortable. It can be way down here on your toes. It can be at the ankle. It can be at the shin. It can be up here at the knee. As long as you're feeling that opening in the right side body and maintaining that length in your spine. On your next exhale, go ahead and collapse into this pose now. Letting your spine go round, letting your chin fall to your chest. On your next inhale, looking up, placing one hand on the inside of the knee, the other hand on the out. Beginning to just walk your hands back up to find yourself seated. Drawing in a very deep inhale. Dropping your jaw for an open mouth exhale. Letting all that tension just pour out. And we're going to switch our feet. So the right foot is going to go out long. Left foot is going to draw in towards the root. Right toes pointing up towards the ceiling, peeling the fat away from the sits bones. Turning your body to look out over the right toes. Inhale, arms coming up overhead. Exhale, maintaining that length in your spine. Nose towards your toes. Letting your hands fall wherever is comfortable. And again, noticing what you notice. I know I say this a lot, but I'm just so amazed at like the imbalance in the human body. How much more tension we carry on one side than we do on the other, and how willingly unaware we are of it all. On your next exhale, collapsing into that pose. Rounding the shoulders, rounding the spine, letting your chin fall to your chest. On your next inhale, taking one hand to the outside, one hand to the inside. Slowly walking your way back up. Seated. We're going to draw that right foot in. So now the heel and well, really the whole sole of our feet are going to come together. They can be in close to the body or they can be back here. It makes no difference. Wherever is most comfortable for you. Taking your hands, hooking them over the toes. In butterfly. So sitting up nice and tall. And just allow gravity to kind of draw your knees down towards the earth. And on your next exhale, rounding through the spine, dropping your chin to your chest and using your elbows to press into your calves. Inhale, lifting your head, coming back up to a seated position. Taking your hands off your feet, sending your legs out long, just shaking them out. Little mini massage down the legs. And now we are going to stretch out. So we're gonna stretch out long on our mat. You know, hold on, don't do that yet. If you are still up against the wall, I'm gonna have you pull your mat just a little bit away because we're gonna do our good morning stretch and your hands will bonk the wall. So before we settle in for our final Shavasana, we are gonna do the good morning stretch. So keep your pillows and stuff handy because we are going into Shavasana in just a second. But as you lower yourself down, on your next inhale, once you lay flat, we're going to inhale, sending our arms up overhead, creating resistance and tension throughout the entire body. So fingertips and toes being pulled in opposite direction. Exhale completely, surrendering all the weight of your body over to your mat. Again, inhale, stretching long. Exhale completely. One more time. Stretch, 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 stretch like a piece of taffy. Exhale. Taking a minute to just enjoy the heaviness. Now, if you have those pillows handy, if you want to take pillows or bolsters or a rolled up blanket, place them under your knees for our final relaxation for these last few minutes we have together. If you want to put on a sweatshirt or socks or whatever, just to get as comfortable as you can. And then stretching out on your mat, allowing your arms to go wide. Rotating the shoulders to the palms, face up. Tucking your chin just slightly towards your chest. Separating your teeth. Relaxing the eyebrows and the forehead. Relaxing the hips and the knees. Relaxing the feet and the ankles, letting the toes fall away from each other. Beginning to slow the breath down and deepen the breath so it travels into the belly. Now, just for the next minute or so, ask yourself what it is that brought you here today. What was your intention? In yoga system, it's called the sankalpa, your intention or your affirmation for the day. Did you come here for flexibility, for connectedness, for patience? Reminding yourself what brought you to this space at this time today, and then turning that into an I am statement. So with your inhale, drawing in I am, and exhale, filling that space with your word, your affirmation, as a gentle reminder to yourself that we already are whatever it is that we seek. I am patient. I am kind.
kind to others and kind to myself. I am grateful. Just taking a few breaths here. One more breath with the I am statement. And then letting it just wash to the back of your mind. Knowing that it's there if you need it. Knowing that you will take this practice with you today, wherever you go. And then turning your palms to face down and just beginning to tap your fingertips on the floor. Maybe tap your heels, waking up the knees and the feet and the fingertips. Opening the eyes when you're ready. I'm going to push my pillows off to the side. And when we're ready, we can roll to one side. Just taking a breath here. Knowing that there's no hurry. Especially since I can't see you guys. You guys might be asleep for all I know. But when you're ready, pressing up to seated. You can even, if you want to use one of your pillows to create just a little bit of height or cushion under your hips, you can sit on one of your pillows or your bolster. We're just going to take one hand to each knee and we're going to straighten up through the crown of our head. And collectively, we're going to draw in a very deep inhale, pulling the breath all the way through the heart center, down past the ribs and down into the base of the belly. Here we go. Dropping our jaw for an open mouth exhale. One more time, very deep inhale. Open mouth exhale. A collective breath to end our practice today. Bringing our hands to the heart center. The word namaste in yoga, in Sanskrit, translates to the light in me honors the light in you. I'm so grateful that we got to spend this time together. I look forward to this every single week. I look forward to a time where we can do this actually together, but I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Please visit our CR YMCA page for all of our classes. We have tons of classes. If you have not done so already, I would invite you to take advantage of that. And until we meet again, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me, whether it's live or watching this recording later. Namaste. Thank you. This is an amazing way for me to start my day as well. Have a great day.